Seek ye first the kingdom of God and its righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Alleluia, alleluia. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and ye shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened unto you. Alleluia, alleluia. Please be seated. So this is Luke's Sermon on the Mount, except it's not. It's a sermon on the plain in Luke's Gospel. And what are some of the differences that we see between this and the Gospel of Matthew? What are some of the differences between the Beatitudes that we know so well from the Gospel of Matthew and this Gospel? What are some of the differences? Blessed are the poor in spirit. And here it's in the second person. Blessed are you who are poor. This is a very pragmatic, in the world kind of gospel. And we have these 4 blessings. And these 4 blessings are set against 4 woes. Woe. Not the kind of woe in which you would stop a mule in mid-stride. This is a different kind of woe, just in case you're wondering. Blessed are you who are poor, for yours is the kingdom of God. Blessed are you who are hungry now, for you will be filled. Blessed are you who weep now, for you will laugh. Blessed are you when people hate you. And then woe, my goodness, to you who are rich, for you have received your consolation. For you who are full now, for you will be hungry, or laughing now, etc. Luke's Gospel speaks very strongly about the rich. Luke's Gospel tells us that there must be some kind of balance involved in this world. And if you are really rich now, then you had your go. Because there's going to be some justice in this world, and it doesn't mean, okay, let's be really clear, it doesn't mean that your goods will be taken away from you and redistributed to the poor. It doesn't mean that. It means that in your next life, you will find that things will not be the same for you. And for the poor in this world, the poor that we have described here, what kind of poor are they? Are they, do we have any sense of what kind of poor this is?
I think people that acknowledge their poorness.
People that acknowledge their poorness? Okay. Do we have a sense of it? You know, we have in the United States, we have what we used to call the poverty line. And below a certain level of income, you were officially poor. You needed to know that. But I think we're talking about a different kind of poor. We're talking about a poor where there's suffering, deep suffering here. And many of us, even if we are approaching the poverty line, even if we are approaching that level in our lives, I don't know that that's the kind of poor that we are. I don't know. When I think of poor, I think of, I don't know, I have an image of some children perhaps on a rubbish heap in Mexico City or in Guatemala or someplace like that. Or I think about the people in Haiti that are suffering after the storms. That kind of poverty is not a poverty that I think I can understand because I haven't been there. And please God, may I and none of you go there. But it's useful to think about all of that. It's useful to keep that in our hearts as we consider who we are and where we are. Last week we talked a little bit about sin and the IOU aspect of sin, and I've talked about this before. We get to this place here in the gospel where at the sort of after we get through with the blessings and the woes, we have these teachings. To love your enemies, do good to those who hate you, bless those who curse you, pray for those who abuse you. And then we get to that turning the other cheek thing. We get to that piece where Christians are supposed to be doormats upon which the world can walk. Right? Oh, come on, y'all. No. I know I'm a little bit somber today, but for Pete's sake, the answer to that is no. Turning the other cheek is one of the masterful preachings of our beloved Jesus. It's one of the turning points in the whole of the world. Turning the other cheek. That word, that expression, that is one of the master strokes of theology, my brothers and sisters, that we have in our Gospels of Matthew and Luke. And we have these kinds of, this is the teaching. Turn the other cheek. Somebody strikes you, you turn the other cheek. Okay, suppose you're walking down the street and a tree falls on you, and you survive that. Okay, that's an accident, right? Well, how are you going to manage what has happened to you? Okay, that's one way of looking at this. If you're walking down the street and somebody swings their car a little bit too close to the edge and splashes you with water, how are you supposed to manage what's just happened to you? Well, you get the opportunity to manage it. That's the whole point of this exercise. That's what we're talking about when we say turn the other cheek. You have control over how you respond to what has happened to you. You have that power, and Jesus affirms that power in you. And at the same time, He gives you the liberating power not only to affirm your ability to manage what has happened to you, but He also then tells you, okay, this is how you should respond. Do good to those who hate you. Take that road. Take the high road. Take the road where you do not respond kind by kind. I've been accused on several occasions, unfortunately, of being willing to chase somebody to Japan so that I can cut them off in traffic. I've often thought how convenient that you could just pop your collar right out. So that you can yell at somebody and they won't know you're a priest. Or leave it in so you can embarrass them if they do discover that you're a priest. There's vengeance on either side of that, and that's not included in this. That's not how it works. Do good to those that hurt you. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. We have, today is the third Sunday, then there's the second Sunday, and then there's my last Sunday. And as we look into that distance, especially today on All Saints' Day, I want us to remember how we need each other in order to achieve these goals that Jesus lays out for us. I want us to remember how somewhere along the line, just as Jesus is reminding us we have the power to manage how we respond to the things that happen to us, that somewhere along the line we must actively accept faith. We must agree with ourselves that we will have faith. That is the only thing that is between us and our faith, is our permission to have that faith. But what we have in terms of that faith we get from others. We learn about faith from others. I learn about my faith from you. And I learn about my faith from Bill Brame and from my Uncle Gerard. And I learn about my faith from my wife Stephanie. And I learn about my faith from people that I've met along the way who demonstrate their faith. And I learn about my faith from people who don't demonstrate their faith. I learn it in a negative sense. That, oh gee, many crickets, I don't want to believe that. But at some point I have to accept, and I have been given the right to accept, faith. And what that means. And then I have the responsibility. I have the permission. I have the permission to manage what has been given to me, but I also have the responsibility to do just that. I have the responsibility to be the person that Jesus would want me to be. And it's outlined for us here in Luke. It's outlined for us in Luke, it's outlined for us in other places across the world. Today is All Saints' Day, my brothers and sisters. Well, it's not actually All Saints' Day. It's our celebration of All Saints. All Saints' Day was back yonder. But we want to remember those persons who came before us, and we want to remember it specifically today. We will name some of the saints that have preceded us in this world. And as we do, we should be grateful to them that they accepted in their hearts the faith which they gave to us. That contagion of faith which we need to use to change the world. As I think about the times that will come when I will not be here in front of you, as I think about that, I will remember you in the sense that you have formed me over these last 8 years. You have blessed me with your presence here. And I will remember that. And your faith has lifted me up on some, I can assure you, there have been some days when I got out of bed and I wondered what this is all about. And I have come here in the liturgy in your presence, have lifted me up. The way that you live your life has lifted me up. And I will remember that. And I will be grateful for that. And it's important for me to say, at this time, I want to say thank you for that. I don't want to not say thank you. I want you to understand that the thanks that I have in my heart is a deep and rich and broad thanks. And as I look into the distance, I also want to say that as a part of this time that we've had together, there were times when I did do the right thing, and there were times when I did not measure up to be the priest that you would have me be. And for those times, I beg your forgiveness. I want you to forgive me for those times when I was not the priest that you needed. And I will also say to you on those occasions when I shake my head and go, I can't believe that I'm hearing this from someone I love so much. On those occasions when I have felt that maybe perhaps the lessons of Christ have not landed particularly well among some of us here. I want to say that I forgive you for those. I want you to understand that. I want you to hear that. For all the saints who from their labors rest, well, you're not there yet, but you are saints. You are the saints of the church. You are the people who are specially blessed. And just like Abraham, all those many, many years ago, this 3,000 years ago, when Abraham, we believe, was somewhere on this earth, just as he was a blessing, just as he was blessed, he was a blessing to the world. And just as you are blessed, you are a blessing to the world. And that's important on a day when we remember the saints. As you go forth, I remind you to spend some time over these things that we have been given to do. Remember, especially in the climate that's outside there, which is gathering tension as Tuesday comes, bear in mind that we are to love our enemies, do good to those who hurt us, that we are to do unto others as we would have them do unto us. Doesn't that sound so simple? Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be gathered unto you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.